Hey, what's up, everybody? BDF44 coming to another video. Alright, I'm going to talk about something entirely different. We got to get back to basketball, like actual basketball, because we haven't been talking about it. And, I've been saturating myself in fantasy basketball drafts. That's something I'm passionate about. Probably have more teams than I can actually handle this season, but I honestly don't care. Point is, nothing. That has no point at all. But it has taken me to this. Everybody understands that Paulo Banchero was the first pick in the draft, but he was considered the third overall best prospect in a majority of consensus mock drafts prior to. Are we sure that Jabari Smith wasn't the better player the whole time? I think it's just a foregone conclusion that once Paulo was taken first with Orlando, of course, Chet was taken second with OKC. Jabari had fallen to 3 by sheer nature because it was a lock that Chet was going to. But it was very close between him and Paulo the entire time, and I don't think much has been said about what Jabari Smith brings to the Houston Rockets. I know the Houston Rockets are interested in getting Paulo Banchero, but I think Jabari Smith is a much better fit for what it is that they needed. And given the fact that they were letting a piece like Christian Wood go, Jabari Smith is more like Christian Wood, but with defense. And that's what you really want. Christian Wood's a player who played a lot on the inside, dunked on your head, very consistent rebounding, probably going to be an all-star very soon. I legitimately think Jabari Smith has even more upside than Christian Wood. I expect Jabari Smith to make much more of an impact on the defensive end while still maintaining a lot of the offensive numbers. This is a full-fledged two-way player and a sniper at that. A lot of people compared him to a guy in Orlando, played also with Ray Allen, Rashard Lewis, who was a tall frame player who could just completely knock it down from pretty much anywhere all over the court with his jump shot. That is who Jabari is. And on the other end, he's ridiculously defensive. He's long and he tracks everything. Perimeter, inside, whatever it is, it's going to get contested. Excellent defensively. That is what Houston was missing. They're one of the worst defensive teams in the league. But they have a fantastic defensive center in Alperen Sengun. So now they have a fantastic front court defensively on top of all the offensive weapons that they have. And they have other pieces that they've added in the lottery as well, like Terry Eason and, Ty Washington and others. Excuse me. In my mind, this Houston Rockets team can make a big jump very soon. And I think Jabari Smith has a chance of being Rookie of the Year this year because he's going to play a huge role on their team. He's going to be their defensive anchor. He's going to be the entire defense. And if you ask me, the Houston Rockets should not be really considering tanking this season. They can't do anything else with lottery picks. They have too many of them at this point. There's not enough minutes to go around. It's not enough basketball to give them. It's going to end up being too many Chiefs and not enough subordinates. So what you want to see is them just kind of keep what they have, let guys fall into their roles, let guys find out who they are, and then figure out who they're going to pay and start trading people. That's what I think the Houston Rockets should do. But the one thing they should not do is underestimate the blessing in disguise that Jabari Smith falling to 3 may have been for their franchise. Because when I look at what Paulo Banchero brings to the table, he's a bruiser, but his best defense is his offense. Now, I think he's going to become a fantastic defensive player one day. I think his defensive upside is higher than people think it is. But Jabari Smith comes in out the gate a defensive monster. And I think that is a big reason why his draft stock was so high to begin with. It wasn't just because he was an offensive sniper. It was because he locks players down and blocks shots and gets steals and things of that nature. So do not at all underestimate what Jabari Smith can bring to the table because his draft stock is low. And if I'm him, I got a chip on my shoulder and I'm coming after anybody who passed me up. OKC, Orlando, I got y'all on my list if I'm him. Because I should have been first overall. Now I'm third. People ain't talking about me. And that is disrespectful. Straight up. Especially given what I know he brings to the table. Now, does he have some limitations? I believe he may have some limitations. He needs to learn how to put the ball on the floor a little better. He's going to have to work on some things, obviously get stronger because he's going to be a defensive anchor, so that's going to come with time, just like any other young player. But he is ready to contribute. He is going to have a huge role this season with that team, surrounded by a lot of talented players, extremely talented basketball players. And I don't see any reason why he's not going to get all the minutes necessary because they're not particularly deep at his position. So, like I said, he's taking over Christian Wood's role in minutes. That's huge for a player who has first overall pick stock. So, yeah, I'm not low on Jabari Smith by any stretch of the imagination. I'm looking at how his draft is going in terms of these fantasy drafts and people leaving him on the board to the final rounds and stuff like that. I'm like, yo, I'm picking him up every single time I see him, along with several other rookies in this draft because I think they're going to have big roles. So this guy is definitely somebody you need to keep on your radar. Like I said, he's being disrespected. He's not being spoken about. And he should have a chip on his shoulder with a big role on a good team that's young with no expectations of winning. So I like the Rockets, man. I like the Rockets, and I definitely like Jabari Smith. Very high on him this season. That's pretty much what I got to say, man. My name is BDL44. Thank you all for watching.